What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to Sportskeeda MMA News. What do McGregor and Volkanovski have in common? Full Send reporter makes fun of himself following Nate Diaz slap. Paddy Pimblett shows up to fight an internet troll. Sean Strickland opens up on his knockout loss. Adesanya's coach thinks that this contender has had an easy route so far. Find out what he said on this episode of Sportskeeda MMA News. No controversy this time. Alexander Volkanovski dominated Max Holloway and retained his 145-pound strap. As he's cementing his featherweight GOAT status, the stats that this man is making for himself are incredible. One statistic that is very hard to attain is how much a fighter outstrikes Max Holloway. Holloway is a volume striker and holds the record for most strikes landed in the UFC. So for others to outland Holloway, it's a statistic worth boasting about. Numbers MMA on Twitter broke it down. Volkanovski has outstruck Holloway in all three of their bouts, but at UFC 276 he landed 72 shots more than his Hawaiian adversary. The featherweight champion also holds the second and fourth spot on this stat list with 35 and 23 more strikes. Who else was able to outland the Blessed Express? Enter the notorious Conor McGregor. McGregor and Holloway fought back in 2013, and this was the Irishman's sophomore performance in the UFC. He proved to be a bit too much for Max on the feet and in the grappling department. Yes, Conor knows a thing or two about grappling as well. Conor outstruck Max by 30 total strikes in a victory that will be one for the ages. Feel free to strike the like and subscribe buttons. You don't have to hit them too hard for them to be significant to us. Volkanovski might have landed a lot more significant strikes at UFC 276, but one of the most significant strikes of the night happened backstage. Full Send reporter Shawnee Mack attempted to interview Nate Diaz backstage, but things didn't quite go as planned. Mack had allegedly tweeted some not so nice things about Nick Maximoff, a teammate of Diaz's. Nate is fiercely loyal to his friends and isn't one to let the trash talk go without a response. So he responded in a way that one would expect at this point, a slap. Well, two slaps actually, because Nate isn't a half sender. Diaz slapped the microphone out of Mac's hand, but he stood there and smiled back, prompting a follow-up slap to knock the hat off the reporter. Even the people in the background seemed unbothered by this, as if it was just another Nate Diaz moment. Shawnee Mack isn't too down on himself for letting this interview slip through the cracks. He opted not to press charges and later took to social media to comment on the situation. Some of y'all forget I started out as a meme page. I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for it. Never been one to shy away from putting my opinion out there. My first weekend on the job, I got stalked and slapped. What a ride we're on. This caption was posted along with a pretty good meme. Remember when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? Of course you do. Mac pasted his and Nate's faces over the infamous meme to let the MMA community know he's not deterred from further attending events. Where does this rank on the top 10 list of Stockton slaps? Let us know in the comments. It's safe to say that Elia Topuria is not the only one calling out Paddy Pimblett. The baddie is one of the quickest rising stars in UFC history and will look to continue his ascent at the expense of Jordan Levitt at the end of this month. The baddie is unfiltered and outspoken and isn't one to shy away from the internet trolls. He'll often engage with them, but rarely do trolls ever challenge UFC fighters. Paddy accepted a challenge from a troll who wanted to fight the UFC lightweight for 5 rounds. Not only that, he upped the ante. Paddy suggested they fight until someone quits.
This dude started with, so do you want it or not? And I'd send the gym's address, see you tomorrow, 10 AM. He said, we'll do 5 threes, and I went, no we won't lad. We'll keep doing it till someone quits. I'm gonna have to get you to sign something to say like, if I hear you, you can't take me to court. Last message off him was, yeah it is mate, good luck Paddy, you're a good entertainer, hopefully you become world champion soon.
Fast forward to the fight, just kidding, the troll never showed up. We can assume it would have been another first round finish for the baddie though. He has a penchant for those. Would you have liked to see Paddy choke out a troll just like Kevin Holland? Tell us in the comments. Sean Strickland has looked very promising lately. He went on a tear through the middleweight division and compiled wins over fighters such as Uriah Hall, Jack Hermansson, and Krzysztof Jotko. This 6-fight winning streak came to an end this past weekend though at UFC 276. While others have shied away from taking on kickboxing phenom Alex Pereira, Strickland raised his hand and was eager for the opportunity. Not only did he want this fight, but he wanted to make it a stand and bang style war. Though this could be considered both admirable and a bit crazy, it's the reason fans tune in for a Sean Strickland fight. However, it backfired for the American. He was caught with the Brazilian's signature lead hook and finished with a few follow-up shots. Strickland took to Instagram and bore his heart in a very honest follow-up from his fight.
This message I just want to convey to you guys, thank you, man. I know I'm not going to be the fucking greatest. I'm not a Khabib or George St. Pierre. I'm just a guy who likes to fight, and you guys make that possible. So thank you guys.
Strickland then elaborated on how fighting that fight is just who he is.
I like to fight, and if I could go back and refight that guy, I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. I wanted to stand and bang with him. I thought I was doing pretty damn good, so I wasn't. I would do it all over again the same exact way.
Though it's obviously not the result he wanted, Strickland acknowledges that he's not meant to be the best fighter ever. He doesn't carry that weight on his shoulders when he competes. He simply wants to fight. Who should Sean fight when he returns to the octagon? Speaking of UFC 276, let's talk Israel Adesanya. He was one half of the main event and won via unanimous decision against the feared striker Jared Cannonier. He called for Alex Pereira in his post-fight interview, and for those that are unfamiliar, Pereira has 2 victories over Izzy in kickboxing and is the only person to knock Adesanya out. Izzy's coach Eugene gave his thoughts on this potential matchup when speaking to Submission Radio. He said,
"They've seen a story there and pushed this guy to a position that he doesn't deserve. It's ridiculous that he's been put in a position to basically go for the title off the back of 2 wins over Israel in a completely different sport after beating just Sean Strickland. I also understand how the UFC machine works. They need to get Pereira to Israel as fast as they can, because obviously Pereira has a lot of vulnerabilities, and if they wait too long, those vulnerabilities will get exposed."
Despite losing by knockout in their second kickboxing match, Adesanya takes pride in knowing that he was winning the majority of that bout prior to the stoppage. Stylebender has much more experience in MMA, which makes this rematch all the more interesting. How do you see the potential middleweight war going down? That's it for today's update from Sportskeeda MMA News. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You'll find us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Until next time. Here are some comments from previous videos. No, he didn't. He simply brought it to decision because he's a clown. That was mad boring. Glad I watched it for free. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. Your comments could be featured in the next Sportskeeda MMA News video. We always deliver daily content, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything going on in the MMA world. For updates, quotes, and exclusive interviews from all your favorite fighters, follow Sportskeeda MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.